Welcome. My name is Naima. I am the founder of the Academy for Womanhood, where we help women come into their full power with an emphasis on helping women who have always been different, who are coded in a very distinct way to bring a very distinct message to the world in these days and times. And that message is meant to serve thousands, perhaps millions, and she is meant to do the very fine work, very respected, reverent work to dig into what that message is, refine that message, which is often highly personal, and bring that to the world stage as an authority and carry it highly, consistently, clearly, and unapologetically, own the camera, and command whatever amount of money she deeply feels called to have to fund not only her career, but her life. So the Academy for Womanhood is in the business of power. We're in the business of power. Full, raw, primal, honest, pure power for women. Again, with an emphasis on women who were born black sheep, who were born different. This is day 2 of the Express and Get Rich series. Today is day 2. We started on Friday. So let me be clear about this 8 days. It is not 8 consecutive days. It is 8 days excluding weekends. So I will be here every weekday this week at 2 p.m. Pacific. Every weekday this week at 2 p.m. Pacific, as well as next Monday and Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, okay? If you are watching this on YouTube or you're on TikTok and you would like to access the replay of all 3 days and you are this woman who I'm talking to, if you are not an aspiring, a high-level coach, please do not move forward for the replays. These are very distinct, narrow, and specific for a very specific woman or man, and that specific woman or man is right here. I'm emphasizing with my language right now because there are some women who message me saying, is this only for coaches or entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs? For this round, yes. It is for high-level or aspiring coaches, messengers, healers, medicine women who have played small, who have played fake humble, but they feel like giants deep down. And they are ready to command and own themselves first so they can end the pain in their bodies, the rage, the self-destruction, the projection and self-hate, so they can do what the fuck they came here for. This is very distinct work. There's no mystery or ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, if you are this, who I'm talking about, all 8 of the replays are for you, and you can access them inside of a private Facebook group. If you would like to access the private Facebook group, there's a link in my bio. When you click that link, the first link will immediately take you to the Facebook group. If you are on YouTube, the link to the Facebook group is in the description. Again, do not come to the Facebook group if you are not this woman. Now, I'm in an office space where I rent office space, so you're gonna see people behind me. We are moving out of this building into another building. So you're gonna see, I don't know how much traffic, but you're gonna see people walking behind me, as you already have. And you see that couch right there is wrapped up because it's being moved, just because I know this kind of stuff can be distracting. So I'm just feeding your ego mind so it can calm down and be present with today's content, okay? I'm excited too. We're moving into a building right around the corner that has over $8 million was invested to renovate. So that'll be exciting. And for the new year, I'll be creating content from there. So perhaps I'll give you all a little tour of this cutting edge building that will be our office space that we should be able to, I'll be able to go there for work. January 2nd is what they're telling me. So we look forward to that. Now, today's topic, let me make sure I'm very clear on where the replays go. The times that I'm here are 2 p.m. Pacific each weekday, excluding weekends until December 31st. Okay, there's that. Now, let's get into today's topic. Refine your bankable message. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for the follows. Refine your bankable message. So the problem that we're beginning to solve today is I have a message to bring forth, or I am currently already sharing a message through a podcast, through my content. I do have clients, but perhaps I don't like the quality of clients I have. I want to elevate my quality of clients that see value, know value, have higher disposable income, where there's a clarity of match, and then there's not all this having to explain to people because they're actually not the right match, which is why you're having to explain to people so much. And then additionally, what often happens when there's inner friction within, as within, so without, when there's friction within, friction in the form of shame, doubt, hesitation, self-hate, judgment, lots of unconscious activity on that you can't quite name or put your finger on, it shows up in the form of people who are not good fits. These people DM you, they're all in your face, perhaps they become clients, but they are not ideal fits. So the problem is this, that you have this inner conflict of doubt, etc. And then also you lack true refinement of the message, what the actual problem is you solve and what people are actually paying for versus what you think they're paying for, okay? So refining your bankable message, I like to begin to get into the solution for you. My solution to refining your bankable message so you can command millions. Again, I'm saying millions because me and many of the women who are drawn to me, millions is the priority. Not everybody wants millions. So I'm just saying this because perhaps $10,000 a month is fine for you, right? One of our community members, her goal is $5,000 to $6,000 a month consistently. So I'm just saying, whether it's $5,000 to $6,000 a month or millions, the solution to refining your bankable message so you stop attracting less than ideal clients, attracting people who can't afford it, having headache clients, being disappointed in your business, almost on the verge of quitting, and instead getting to a place where people love and pay you and can afford you. They're not questioning you 10,000 ways, needing weeks and months to go meditate and think about it and pray because it's not actually an ideal match. The solution to refining your message is my arc. Now, this arc that I'm going to share with you right now is something that we're going to go further into for those of you who sign up for the coaching with Shadow Gold. I will talk more about Shadow Gold here later today. So what is my arc? My arc is your before and your after. What does this look like? So for those of you who are this person, I repeat, this is very narrow. This is very distinct. There's no mystery around this. For high-level or aspiring coaches, messengers, and visionaries who are here to make large amounts of money, meaning you're not just here just to talk online. You're not here just to have a podcast because you got something to say, and all that is fine. I'm talking about for those of you who are here to be rich. Those of you who know in your hearts of heart that what you have in you is meant to have you be financially rich, okay? Your message that you're bringing forth is very specific to your lived experience. This is why I talk so much about any inner conflict you have. If it's not reconciled, you're not going to be able to deliver the message in a way that has you be magnetic and people pay thousands of dollars, get on a plane to fly across the ocean or across the Atlantic or across the United States to come work with you. So this arc, before and after, is your personal arc that will be resonant with the people who are going to pay you thousands of dollars to work with you. Okay? Now, this is a multi-level conversation. How so? So there's the part of you that, let's say, for example, you were sexually abused as a little girl, right? Because so many of us are. Now, we know so many women have been sexually abused, right? But there are women who are poor who have been sexually abused, and there are women with disposable income who have been sexually abused. Who are you talking to? You're talking to the ones that know that it's a problem. They've seen the results of the problem, tight in their bodies, a dry coochie, scared of men, don't want to wear dresses, don't want to be seen, right? They have seen and felt the fruits of living with that trauma. They're aware of it and they want to get it solved, and they have the money to get it solved. Okay, so now in order to be dealing with that woman and to be magnetic to that woman, that's where the deeper work, when I said if you got that inner friction going on, you're just gonna draw all the other girls who are like that. Okay, this is where shadow gold changes your life. This is where shadow gold changes your life. Okay, again, I will talk more about shadow gold later. So in the arc, the before and after, it is you first getting very clear about your before. So if we stay with the example of a woman who's been sexually abused, let's say you're 40 years old. You were sexually abused by your stepfather, or maybe you were raped in high school or college, right? Raped, right? This has been your experience. And as an adult woman now, you've gone on a bunch of voyages to heal this sexual trauma. So I'm a woman who was sexually abused as a little girl. And there I did all the typical things that a lot of young women growing into womanhood do to heal sexual trauma. What do we do oftentimes? We go see a therapist, right? We read books about healing and the body and how the body stores trauma, and we may go to church, or, we may talk to friends, and, maybe we go lay on the beach at the ocean's edge. We do all the things, right? Anybody here, want to share what they've done to heal their sexual trauma? Somebody said drink, that's one. Was that your attempt to heal, T? Sleep with folks? I'm talking about your efforts to heal, right? Maybe you felt like drinking was a way to heal, right? Because sometimes we think that, right? That we can find some kind of way to get rid of it, right? Meditate, Tiana said, journal, okay? So we get into all these things, we get into doing a variety of things. Maybe we go on a women's retreat, we do a bunch of things to heal. And depending on who you are, maybe that worked for you. Let's say it did work for you, right? Because again, I'm speaking to you as a high level or aspiring coach who's currently online looking to sell your healing program, your coaching program, your medicine program that's helping other women heal sexual trauma the way you healed sexual trauma, right? So in your mind, you have healed, and your healing program is the way that you're showing other women to heal, right? So, and the refining your message so that it becomes bankable. When I say bankable, I don't mean because you want to sell a $49 digital product, which maybe you do, but I'm not talking about that. Remember, I said get rich. Let's remember. I said get rich. So I mean women who only see your content online, who are compelled by your magnetism because of the work you've done inside of my Shadow Gold program, that they absolutely know that you are the authority, not just another healer on the internet. Not just another woman who got her 1,000 followers on TikTok, decided to go live, and she telling you about healing and you need to heal because that's why you're attracting narcissists, and she's telling you something that you've heard 11 other times elsewhere with 50 million healers and coaches and medicine people, but there's no magnetism about her. You don't feel compelled. You don't see her as an authority. You see her as just another healer. You don't see her as somebody that this is for you and that you are ready, particularly for those who have disposable income. Because people who have disposable income, that's why I say separating the woman who's sexual trauma and she's broke versus the woman who's experienced sexual trauma, she got disposable income. The one who has disposable income wants results. And she's going to pay for those results. And she's going to be drawn in by the woman who has authority on camera. Okay? Not who's trying to fake authority because she got her makeup done and her hair done and she looked good. But aren't you feeling me right now? Aren't you looking through me right now? Aren't you looking as deep into my eyes as you can? Aren't you feeling me beyond my words? That's what they're doing with you. The woman who has $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 to work to have sexual trauma healed for real, she's looking at the authority that you are for real. So you see the difference between all the 10, 11, 50,000 healers on TikTok Live selling their $49 books and their $22 digital programs and their free download. Are you getting the difference here? This is what I mean by high level. And those of you who aspire to be high level. And when you are the woman who I described at the beginning of this live stream, where you feel like a giant, and it's not like, oh, I just feel like a big bitch today. I mean, deeply. You are meant to live and be grand. You are meant to be respected and live highly. It's a very different experience than someone who's actually very insecure and they're cosplaying confidence. And when a woman is looking at you with $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 to heal sexual trauma, she's looking for that giant in you to be alive, to be unapologetic, to be active. And you know that you are that, but will you actually do the work to unleash that? This is what my shadow gold helps you to do. Now, the arc. So the arc is before, meaning who were you before sexual abuse? See? Now, let's say you started getting abused by your stepfather at 7. And pardon me if this is, sensitive, but this is the reality of how you start to command yourself, speaking with specifics, owning your experience, and being able to get on camera, unapologetically own the camera and be magnetic. Are you here to be rich or what? Are you here to express and be rich, being unapologetic and authentic or not? Otherwise, go sell your $27 little digital product. I mean, maybe that's enough. And I know it's not enough, but I'm fucking with you, okay? So let's say at 7 years old, you started experiencing abuse and you go back to who were you before it, right? Rambunctious, alive, vibrant, confident, playful, open, receptive, Or maybe if we go to, let's say you were, and you remember yourself being social, confident, creative, curious, you explored, you did all the things. That's the before, right? And then you remember who you were after that. You were closed, you were insecure, you were scared of men, you were scared of life, you played small, you started wearing black all the time, you started hiding, you gained weight, you got endometriosis, you started having pain in your body, right? You remember who you were after, right? And now after you realize all this pain and the pain became too much and you wanted to heal it, then you went on your healing journey. Like I said earlier, right? You started reading books on the body keeps the score and healing trauma. You started watching YouTube videos on yoni steaming and healing the womb. You started juicing and cleansing and wearing white and wanting to understand the woman's body and womanhood. And right, maybe you went on a women's retreat. Maybe you went to go see a specialized massage therapist on releasing trauma from the body. Maybe you went and got a natal chart done. And right, you've done all these things, right? Because there's so much you can do, right? Especially when you're on the typical path versus the unorthodox path, which is what Shadow Gold is fruits of, walking the unorthodox path to truly become an authority, okay? So you've done all these things, right? And now you're like, I'm healed, right? I've healed that trauma from that grave. I've healed that trauma from, abuse as a little girl, etc. And now you are who you are today, right? Now, when you put that on paper, there's specifics about that. There's specifics. This is what we go into further, customized and tailored to you for those of you who are going to work with me with the coaching that I'm including with Shadow Gold for a limited time. Again, I'll talk more about that today. So, what is the description? You would write all this down. I was optimistic. I was excited about life. I had plans for my future. I was open. I was receptive. I was playful. I was getting good grades. I was making good money. Depending on whatever was true for you before. Remember, there's an arc here. Before and after. This is my arc process. Before and after. And the voyage you went on, and now that's inside of a package. So let's go back. You write it all down. And what's important about this process is the emotions of it. Why is the emotions of it? I'm on camera. Have you all noticed as you're looking at the comments when I'm saying specific things, there's a response here, there's resonance about all the things that a woman goes on to heal sexual trauma, right? Reading books, reading Body Keeps the Score, right? Because then when you speak it on camera, the woman who's invested is going to hear and see herself. So that is another way that you are positioned as an authority. If you're not sharing your actual message and story, which is why I said this is very personal, how are you speaking to a very specific woman who you know her experience because you're so intimate with your own? And that you own that experience, clarify through the arc, the emotional before and the emotional after, what you did when you recognize the pain of the after, detailed what you did to heal. And here is how I'm going to help you heal. And it's $5,000. And you can command that because of the work you've done at a primal level. This is the unorthodox work. This is the work, all of those $27 people, all of those white head rap healers all over the internet who broke as shit is what they not doing. It's the primal sexual aspect of yourself. Okay? If you are not in healthy, reverent, appreciative, accepting ownership of your raw, sexual, primal self, give it up. Just go ahead and sell your little $27 things or whatever you're selling right now, okay? So let me complete this. All of the emotionality of I was vibrant, I was, right? And then after, I've already named all the things. You gained weight, tense and scared in your body. You picked a narcissist, you went and hid up under a man who abused you, you continued the cycle of abuse, all of it, right? And the emotionality of it. What is the emotionality of a thing? Insecure, unsafe in the world, scared of life, feeling like a loser. Okay, and this is personal to you. You're not making this up. You're being honest about what was your actual experience. This is part of your magnetism online. You see how healing this is even for you? For those of you who are like, I've healed, but your results are telling you, there's some aspects of me that I have yet to heal. Again, if you don't go down deep into the primal, give it up. This is what Black women are losing. This is why so many Black women are waiting for a man to save them in a way that he cannot. They're not going down into the depths that we know, something in us knows that that's the place to go, but we don't have anybody showing us, holding us, supporting us through it. This is cutting edge, next level. And aren't you what you would bring forth cutting edge and next level for your people? Truly, do you feel called to bring forth the cutting edge next level? Because probably a good number of y'all are really basic, and that's fine. Most people are basic and will be. Go help them. But for those of you who at the deepest level, meaning like, even when I was broke and sleeping on my mother's couch, I knew I was grand. This is not about money and material things. Even when I had nothing and I was sick. I knew I'm a God, that I got this to bring forward. So this is deep. This is inherent. You are born this way. Know who you are and gain intimacy with that. And that's what my shadow gold helps you to do. Baby, this is a very clear divide. There is no mystery. You got any questions? Ask them and just tell the truth. And telling the truth is about your actual lived experience, your actual inner world, and bringing it out. We ain't got to make nothing up. Just lay it all down. Okay? I know all the loudmouth bitches, because they so fucking loud, right? It clouds shit. But that's why we need you. Come out. True. Unapologetic. And the only way you're going to be able to sit, stand, whether it's online, offline, is by getting down in the parts of you that are fierce, that are violent, that are hostile, that are unapologetic, that will kill a nigga. See? Yes or no? Yes or no? Otherwise, bitch, stay mad, in pain, trying to cover it up with makeup and liquor, bitch. I just told you. Okay? So, if you know you're meant to own the camera, be unapologetic and command millions, and fund your comfortable, beautiful life, you need to do this arc inside of my container with Shadow Gold and coaching over time. Grow the fuck up. Get over your fucking self with your big fucking mouth and all your degrees and all your money and your houses, but somehow you can't do the actual fucking thing you're here to do. Well, bitch, what's going on? Yeah, you. Boom. You are who you are today. What's missing? You're so confident. You're so beautiful. You're so smart and intelligent and wise and experienced. What's going on? Y'all want to tell me? Since we're here live? Because those who are going to watch the replay are not going to be able to be live with me. What the fuck is going on, as Bernie Mac would say? Anybody want to out themselves? So, before, after, that's the arc, okay? Being specific around the emotionality of the thing, so your ideal client feels and hears you when she sees you on the internet. And again, what the work will be doing, whatever you are now is going to change so that you are magnetic on camera. I'm telling you, if you don't get down into this primal work, this is what Black women are missing. And when I say Black women, I'm not talking about all Black women. I'm talking about the Black women who have a deep sense of being grand, being giants, who have been called too much, who were born the black sheep, who have always been bright lights. That's what I'm talking about. Well, T, you can stay there. Stay scared. You got plenty of women to join you. Oh, okay. You better get into reality about your limited time here. All of y'all better get into reality about your limited time here, because baby, you for sure gonna die. You for sure gonna die. So if you don't reconcile your fear of death and everything that you're scared of, which is fake, all that I'm scared of this is fake, fake, fake. It ain't nothing but a distraction. Because if I were to ask you what you scared of, it would be boring, lame ass, nothing ass shit that every other bitch is scared of. And at the end of the day, it don't matter. Your grandmother would tell you, girl, you better get over that shit. That shit don't matter, girl. That's what your grandmother and your great grandmother would tell you. It has no weight. It doesn't really matter. You're making it matter, but it doesn't actually for real matter. See what I'm saying? So, you've done the arc, the emotional state. Now, what we're going to do as we refine your message is we're going to get into, and this is where you start to grow up and strengthen your magnetism to own the camera. This is where. So you can take this right here, right now, what I just shared with you, and go off and do your la-di-da, right? Write down your arc. Before, the emotionality, the after, the emotionality, the voyage you went on, all the things you did to heal. Write that down, create a package, which is another thing we'll do inside of the coaching, is refine your package. That's a whole other topic. You can go off though, but do this, decide what your package is gonna be and go online and sell it. That could work. I don't know. Like, I don't know you. I don't know your nuance. I don't know your experience already. I don't know your skill. Who knows? Perhaps that could work for you, because it could, depending on your experience level so far. Let's say for most of you, with this level of magnetism that I'm talking about, particularly doing pioneering work, because I see what you're doing as pioneering when you get down into what you're really here for. Not just the thing that you felt safe thus far talking about on camera. So this is deeper, but I won't go too deep because I might lose y'all. But you're doing the real pioneering thing, the real thing that makes you dangerous, the real thing that makes you rare, unapologetic, that you've been called to do, that you don't see anybody else talking about, the real thing that would make you commanding and an authority because it's yours, okay? When you go out by yourself, right, what you're going to bump up against is the same shit you've been bumping up against. Like somebody here is talking about fear, right? And then when you take what I gave you with the frequency of it and the instructions of it and do it, it's going to help you go a little bit deeper, and you're going to start triggering things, okay, inside of you that are invisible, unconscious mind. And that's going to have you, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but just telling you, right? It's going to start triggering things, which is going to have you freeze again or whatever, start drinking again or start distracting yourself again and all the things, right? Because y'all been here before. For those of you who are already coaches, high-level coaches, aspiring, you already know, right? You watch some free master class, you watch 25,000 videos on YouTube about how to create a package, how to sell, how to do it, and you went and did it and you didn't stick with it, right? We've all been there. I've been there, okay? When we work together to refine your message personally, because this is highly, highly customized. This is not a one size fits all. We get to look at what parts of your message are you unconsciously avoiding because you actually haven't dealt with it yet, but that's the very thing that would make you irresistible to your ideal client. So the parts of you that you've yet to speak about, and you know you haven't spoke about it because you don't want to be seen like that. You don't want people to know that. And that's the very thing for you to own, because the women who you're here to serve, that's their specific problem that they will throw money at you for, that they will come to you. Like one woman recently came to you, she bought everything, not everything, but a lot of things, you see? So refining your specific message, like what is the specifics of your before? What are the specifics of your after? And what even did you do that's unorthodox? And here's the thing. Sometimes when you are this giant that I'm talking about, something that's unorthodox to others, you don't even see it as unorthodox because it's so natural to you. Sort of like how you didn't even realize how superior you were until people started calling you too much. Until people started being like, who do you think you are? And you know, shit started happening. You started getting reflections from the outside world that made you like, whoa, yeah, I'm not like these people. They not like us. In a real way, though. Your authentic self. So all of that nuance about you that you don't even consider, having that be included in your messaging, all of this is refinement. All of this is refinement. Because you want that when you come on camera, that first of all, you're even confident about what you're speaking about, particularly when we refine your message and we bring forth these pioneering, polarizing, triggering, deep, rich, compelling topics that you're speaking. First of all, you need to be able to sit. You understand what I'm saying? You need to be able to sit on camera like this. You need to be able to sit on YouTube and create whatever, however long, 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, 1 hour, and speak clearly, confidently. So when somebody like me comes and watches your video on YouTube, I'm like, yeah. Or whoever the woman is who's going to hire you, she looks at you and she's like, yeah, okay. Now, this is refinement as far as the arc, before and after. The additional refinement is what's going on inside of you. Now, this is where most women just won't go. This is where most women won't go. Why? Because it requires you to grow up. So many of us still want to be little girls. We want somebody else to do it. We want somebody else to save us. We want to go get up under a man. We want to pretend and create fake wars, create fake problems, all the things. But true refinement on the inside, which drastically has to do with your online magnetism. And forget about online, how about in your real life? Requires that you grow up, meaning that you be responsible for everything that happens in your reality, everything. Your emotional state, how you handle things, people's response to you, everything. And so many of us are refusing to grow up. Even those of us who have PhDs and are married, and we're already doing some version of high-level spiritual retreats, wealth packages, different kinds of coaching and healing and mentorship packages, and we are still hiding behind accomplishments, achievements, still playing that better than game. Okay, I'm better than her. And really so much of that needing to be better than is rooted in insecurity. And to get rid of that insecurity, you would be required to take complete responsibility for what you've been unwilling to take responsibility for thus far. There's a whole level of striking honesty. It pierces. The authority that very few of you feel called to, like the true authority, has nothing to do with the external world. The true authority that you're looking for, you will not have it until you take entire responsibility for your reality, all of it. Even your pattern of thought, even your pattern of responding to something, even your pattern of emotionality. You notice how your mind, something gets hard and your mind automatically goes there and you let it keep going there and go that way? Take responsibility for that. Your pattern of blaming something, everything. And when you start to take this, see, when you're playing little girl, it always feels like, man, just childish and damn bratty because you've yet to take responsibility. When you come over to the rich side, where you gonna work with me at, when you notice you being a brat, you notice your typical negative stream of thought, whatever you notice about yourself, you're like, oh, I'm glad I caught that. Let me clean that up. What, bitch? You catch that about yourself. Oh, fuck, hell no. You catch that about yourself. Whoa, fuck, that's what I've been doing. And you clean it up and get into, bitch, what? That's what you need to understand. All these subtleties going on in closed doors, all these subtleties with you, all of this, and so much more is what makes you so open. You're not afraid of being perceived. All these bitches I'm scared of being perceived, they're little girls. The little girls who don't want the responsibility. I'm scared of being perceived. They scared of perceiving themselves in private. They don't want to be responsible for perceiving themselves and what's happening in their everyday life. Something come up on a video come up that they see on TikTok. Automatically, their mind go the same way. Something happened with their mama, their mind automatically go the same way. Something happened with one of their kids, government, society, their mind automatically streams the same way. And they are allowing it. You recognize you can change your stream of thought at any time, right? It's called responsibility. Like when Oprah said, people need to be responsible for their energy when they come into my space. Like that, okay? You are responsible for your stream of thought. You're responsible for how you're Oh, you're projecting onto them? Are you going to be responsible for how you're projecting onto them? Are you going to be responsible for your emotional state, regardless of what they do? Because your mama going to be who she going to be. Your kids going to be who they going to be. The people at work going to be who they going to be. You cannot control that. You control you. So are you going to be responsible for how you respond to them? How you interact? How you think about them? How you choose to handle the fuck shit that they bring into your world? Or how about this? Your quality of being that even impacts how they choose to interact with you. Or you just sick of motherfuckers that bitches want to try you. And I don't like this shit. And my mama, I have to go no contact with her because she don't respect me. Do you respect you? Have you been responsible for respecting you? Because I'm going to tell you in my experience, motherfuckers only do what I allow them to do. And a motherfucker get out of line and they get checked because I'm responsible for me and how people are interacting with me and choosing how I'm gonna move at any given moment. But do you want that kind of responsibility? Or you want to play in the background like you know what you're doing? Because I've had women come to me like that. PhDs, real estate, married, got teenage kids, kids in their 20s, so busy trying to hide behind being better than everybody because they have the material things, but the deep responsibility and power they haven't hooked into, which is why they came to me, to hook into that deeper power, which is primal in nature. So all that material shit, when the excitement of it runs out, the high of having the PhD, the high of having the real estate, the being better than, and now you're miserable inside of your golden handcuffs, and you're ready to do the real thing out here versus being mad because you see me or other women like me out here doing the damn thing, and now you having these outbursts because you mad at yourself for not tapping into the deeper power, coming online, acting like you the bitch, making comments like you know what's up, like you doing it. I'm doing it. No, you're not. See, you can lie to all the other chicks, but you can't lie to me. You can pretend with all the other chicks, but you can't pretend with me. You see? So I'm calling you out like this because step up. You're in your 40s now. You're close to 50 now. Some of y'all in your 50s now. It's not going to get easier. You're not going to feel safer. Nobody's going to come and save you. It's not going to start feeling high again like when you first got the PhD. When you got married, when you had all the things that made you better than everybody at that party, at that dinner, at that gathering, at that family affair, where you was using all of your material things to prop yourself up as better than everybody else at the dinner table. But deep inside, you know that shit don't really give you what you really need and most want. I'm telling you, you can do this. I'm telling you, you can do the refinement work of before and after, allowing what you've been unwilling to touch to be touched. And I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to truly love you through it. I'm going to call forth your darkness. I'm going to call forth your insecurity. I'm going to call forth everything in you that you don't want to be seen as. Being seen as weak, being seen as you don't know what you're doing. And we're going to work intimately, closely together so you stop letting this shit that don't matter get out the fucking way. So you can come out here and fucking influence the thousands, the hundreds of thousands, the millions. For those of you who told me you want to go viral on your TED Talk, you want to start doing bigger retreats in Egypt and around the world. You want to start having a bigger impact. You want to take the giant that you feel like you are, that you keep being mad, that you can't really let out in a refined way, finally do the work of refinement so that you can bring her out and own it unapologetically and not worry about being killed, being harmed, being persecuted, being judged, being rejected. What are we waiting for? Nothing else matters. You have expired all the juice from all of your materialness, the dopamine hits that you've gotten from another car, another piece of real estate, being married and hiding behind that as something that makes you superior. And while you have already drank and gotten feasted off of all these material things that's supposed to make you satisfied, deeply quenched, deeply fulfilled, and yet you still out here lashing out at women like me and other people because you know, even if everybody else sees you as a winner, as a successful, as an educated woman with your degrees and your money and your real estate, you know that you're not doing the thing that you really here for. And you know that's the thing that's going to bring you the ultimate fulfillment, the deepest fulfillment, where if you had your PhDs taken from you, if your husband left you, if you lost all your material possessions, that you know when you tap into that deep genius essence, that primal, full, fierce, infinite self, that all that shit can go away and you wouldn't give a fuck. Because you would be infinitely nourished by the full wholeness of you, which is primal in nature. Okay? Now, this is what Shadow Gold is going to help you do, particularly when we work together over the next 6 months to a year. So how do we do this? First of all, you either get Shadow Gold and go do Shadow Gold by yourself, which you can do right now with the link in my bio. You go to the link in my bio, click it, and at the bottom, you will find Shadow Gold. You can get Shadow Gold right now and start right now in accessing this primal, infinite aspect of yourself to help you start to become magnetic, own the camera, refine your bankable message, and come out here on the world stage. Now, if you want my hands in on the refinement part, as we said, the arc before and after, well, we start to look at what are the parts of your story that you've yet to touch, okay? That you unconsciously didn't even realize you were withholding because you didn't want people to know that, because you still have not yet reconciled the pain around that, the impact of the pain on that, how much you have hid behind that in your 23 years or however long you've been holding on to that. To work with me and going deeper and having my expertise on your arc, what you're writing down. And then when we get over here to the after what you're writing down, the emotionality of it, looking for the gaps in it that you do not and cannot see. Looking at the voyage of healing that you've been on. What have you been doing that to you demonstrates to your ideal client that you are the one for her? And what do we need to add to that you don't even know needs to be added to that? You're going to work with me in this way, okay? Also, what we're going to do is we're going to use Shadow Gold and the work that you're doing in Shadow Gold to personalize what's going on in you that needs refinement on a primal level, okay? So remember I said there's the refinement on the outside, which is your message, that arc, and all the nuances associated with the arc. And then I said there's the you on the inside, where the woman who has the disposable income, who's looking for a real solution, she's looking through you. She's feeling you more than she's listening to you. She's looking for, are you true? Are you sincere? Can I trust you? Do you know what you're talking about? Are you somebody I want to invest 5,000, 10,000, shit, however you want to. My first big healing sexual trauma client paid me, first she paid me 10,000, then she paid me an additional $65,000. So this is what I mean. Not all of y'all want to get paid at that level, but if you do, she is looking at you closely. I want you to really get present with somebody who's actually looking for a solution to their healing. Let's slow down and really put some perspective on this. And don't be policing other people's wallets. Maybe you have yet to spend that kind of money, and that's a whole other topic that we're going to be discussing, how to get premium, charge premium, and get premium because you've invested premium in yourself. And part of the reason why you struggle to charge premium dollars and get premium dollars is because you refuse to invest premium in yourself. I mean, have you ever invested 10,000? Do you want somebody to pay you 10,000? Okay, if the answer is yes, my question is, have you ever invested 10,000 in yourself to become? Okay? So, the inner that shows itself on camera when your ideal client is looking at you, wait. I want to put some light on this because who knows? I don't know who of you here know this or not, or how much I need to, how some light on this could help. Imagine a woman who has been walking around. I'll use a former client for an example. This was a woman who, she was looking for healing of her sexual trauma. The results of the pain in her life was she constantly cheered for other people, but she always stayed in the background. She didn't like that. This woman was over 50, okay? She cheered for other people, but she always stayed in the background. even though she wanted to be the people she was cheering for. Okay? But the results of the sexual trauma in her body and how deeply she had buried it and didn't even know. Okay? If you've never experienced sexual trauma, perhaps you don't, relate to this, and that's fine, but I'm still going to use it because so many of us have. When a woman has experienced sexual trauma or rape, there's a part of her that pushes a lot down in order to go on. Okay? Now, if she keeps it pushed down and doesn't do any kind of healing, by the time she gets up in age, it could be 30s, it could be 40s, it could be 50s, it could be older, the results of that is going to show in her life. It oftentimes takes time for her to notice it, okay? Which is oftentimes why it's not until she gets older and she starts to see a pattern that she doesn't like that she starts to look for a solution, okay? One of the patterns in this woman's life she found me on Facebook first, and then she went to my podcast that I had at the time, and that's how she found me and listened to me and contacted my company. And her first investment with me was $10,000. This is a woman I never met in real life, and this was years ago. This ain't even new, okay? $10,000. We worked together for 5 months inside of a 6-month contract. And when we were coming to the end of the contract, she was getting such wonderful results. I asked her if she wanted to continue. She said absolutely, and invested $65,000 to work with me for an additional year. Okay? And yes, this was a white woman, for those of you who are curious, okay? The point is, she found me on Facebook. A post I put up on Facebook, I was doing like a 5-part series, something about trauma in the body, becoming whole, healing. She found what I shared, came over to the series, listened to me. We never met in real life. She emailed my company and signed up to work with me at $10,000. How? What she said is Naima talked so honestly and authentically about the arc, before, after, what it's like emotionally in the after, playing small. I'm telling you, when your people who have the money hear you talk, who are looking for a solution, they're going to lean in. I say repeatedly, the emotionality of it, playing small. I shared a story, because you all have heard about how stories sell, facts tell. I shared a story about when I was 14 years old and I was making out with this guy and I was tight in my body and I didn't even know it. And he touched my leg and was like, "Why are you so tight?" I told that story and she resonated because she had a similar experience. You see what I mean about when you tell the truth about your story and the emotionality of it and then speak it out loud as you are doing the deeper primal unapologetic work, that when you come out, first of all, you're willing to come out. You're willing to come out versus talking about you scared. So you're willing to come out because you're doing the work in shadow gold. You can speak clearly because you're confident because of the arc work we have done, the before and the after. So when your people hear you, they lean in. They message your company. They're ready to pay. They have the money. Okay? When a woman is looking for a solution and she has been able to see the negative pattern in her life that she doesn't like, she's looking consciously or unconsciously for a solution. Now, that's a whole other conversation about the levels of awareness that people have about the problem and actively searching for a solution. That's another conversation to be had that we will have in working together. So when she is in pain, okay, for those of you who you already know the pain of playing small and how you lose money playing small. You end up under a narcissist playing small. Hold on one second. You get up under a narcissist playing small. You gain weight. So many women eat themselves into being overweight because they want to hide behind weight. Okay? Whatever it is that you do, you know the pain of that, right? You got dreams that you want to pursue, but you're afraid to live. You're afraid to go out and take up space in the world. You're afraid to set standards and say yes, no. You're afraid to cut people off. You're afraid to be big and true. And just be true. There's nothing performative about it. Just really allowing yourself to be who you are, the fullness of it, without trying to tamper yourself. And so when you know the pain of that, because like I said, typically it takes until a woman gets older for her to be able to track a pattern that she doesn't like, okay? So when she knows the pattern and she's sick of it, typically people don't take action until they're sick of some shit. They think of how long y'all been dealing with your pain. You will live with pain, back pain, financial struggles, pain. Think about how long y'all be walking around with pain before you actually do something. So by the time somebody actually comes to look for a solution, they've been in pain for a long fucking time, typically, okay? So this is what makes, when you show up with your solution and you're magnetic and you clearly are showing up as the authority that I'm talking about, and this woman who's been in pain for the last 15 years sees you, she's leaning in. And when she has the disposable income, the price doesn't matter. Some of y'all already know that, okay? Because I remember this woman particularly, when she messaged me about us working together, I told her, you need to know to start is $10,000. I wasn't even gonna get on the phone with her because I remember at that time, I was like, bitch, it's time to level up, okay? This was 2015. I was like, it's time to level up. I was making money and I was tired of my plateau. I said, I'm not getting on the phone with nobody unless they ready to do 10,000 minimum, okay? I sent her an email when she emailed me. Listen, you need to know that pricing with me starts at $10,000. She said, okay. We got on the phone. She paid $5,000 on the phone and then the other $5,000 the next day. Okay? So I want you to know that when somebody is in pain and they're looking for a solution and you show up having truly become unapologetic, and part of becoming unapologetic is wealth consciousness. All this we do inside of Shadow Gold, okay? Again, you can get Shadow Gold right now with the link in my bio. You can get Shadow Gold right now with the link in my bio. I want to talk to you. If you just want Shadow Gold, boom, go get it. I want to talk to you for those of you who want to work with me inside of a small group coaching setting. I just want to illuminate how this, when somebody's in pain, they're ready to pay. And when they have the disposable income, they will pay. Okay? That's how you get rich. Now, so that, I want to give a little light on that. Now, the internal, because I talked about the external of your message, right? The arc, getting into what's missing that makes you magnetic, that is actually resonant with more people than you realize. All that is external. It's verbal, it's messaging, getting clear on that. The internal is what the fuck is going on with you. That makes you hide, don't want to be seen as, like we talked about in Friday's live stream. You don't want to be seen as that. You don't want people to know this is in your background. You don't want to look weak. You don't want to be perceived as that. It's comfortable playing small, but now it's become too painful playing comfortable. You've already got ruined by a narcissist, all the things. Yes? That's internal. So what we're gonna do in our private coaching work, when I say private, we're gonna be in a small group coaching setting. So you're gonna have Shadow Gold. If you just want Shadow Gold, you go get it. That does not include coaching. If you want Shadow Gold plus the coaching with me helping you with the refinement, that's gonna be $10,000, and we're gonna work together over 3 months doing all this work that I just talked about. The external, your messaging, and the internal. This is in a small group coaching setting. By the end of our 3 months together, your messaging will be refined. You will be on the world stage. You will have your premium packages and you will be charging for them and getting that money when you do the work. If you're not showing up, because we're meeting 3 times a month inside of this group coaching. If you're not showing up, if you're not doing the work, you are not going to make the money. You're not going to get the results. If you know that it is time for you to own the camera, be magnetic, allow the giant in you to come out. You get Shadow Gold, plus we're gonna have the coaching for 3 months, which you need to DM me for, okay? You need to DM me. If you're watching this on TikTok, on YouTube, the email is in the description. If you're watching this as a replay inside the Facebook group, the email will be there for you to email to get this group coaching, okay? Now, let me be very clear about what's going on here, because I've been here over an hour already. If you just want to start doing the primal work to become magnetic on camera by yourself without the coaching, go get Shadow Gold. You can get Shadow Gold right now with the link in my bio. That does not include coaching. That does not include coaching if you just get Shadow Gold. Now, if you want the coaching with me inside of a small group coaching setting where we work together 3 times a month on refining your message, clarifying what the message is, putting together the plan for how you're going to go online, tracking your results. And we're doing all this over a 3-month period. Okay? So it's very hands-on. It's very interactive. You will have homework. It's very engaging. If you get Shadow Gold by itself, there's no engagement with me. Okay? Shadow Gold by itself is $5,000, or I think it's 8 payments of $650. Okay? That's that. For us to work together with me involved over 3 months, it's $10,000 inside of a small group coaching setting. We meet 3 times per month over the 3 months. That's $10,000. To get that, you need to email me. Or if you're on TikTok, you can DM me. My email is in the description on YouTube. My email is in the description if you're watching this inside of the replay on Facebook. Okay? Are there any questions for those of you who are here live? And even if you're not here live and you're watching the replay, you can send an email with your question. Okay? Here's something that I'm doing. For those of you who sign up before the 31st, okay? Remember, this is an 8-day series. The last day is next Tuesday. For those of you who sign up before the 31st, I'm going to give you access to my woman community. You've been hearing me talk about my woman community. We meet the first Monday of every month. That's a much larger community. That community is $99 a month. I'm going to give that to you when you sign up before the 31st. Okay? The 31st is next Tuesday. Are there any questions here? I'm wrapping up now. If you are ready to own the camera in 2025, if you're ready to do the very refining and difficult work, it is indeed refining and difficult, and you can do it, and I'm going to help you. If you are ready for that, if you're ready to live the life that you can fund, okay? If you're ready to stop waiting, that's a big one. You're ready to stop waiting for somebody else to do it, somebody else to save you. Baby, waiting for somebody else to do it, waiting to feel safer. Well, after I lose weight, I don't really like my voice. You will get comfortable with your voice the more you use it. So if you're ready to be magnetic and to have the giant that's in you live out in the world, and for you to be able to handle it, because that's another one, will I be able to sustain my power? Yeah. When you're sincere about sustaining your power. See, some of y'all have tried to fake it. You tried to force yourself into being powerful. You cannot force this. You got to actually do the work. You got to actually do work that's sexual, that's, embarrassing, that's uncomfortable, down. Everything you don't want to be seen as. And you know what's on the other side? Full brightness. No longer afraid of being persecuted, judged, killed, abandoned, alone. That's a big one. Y'all scared of being alone. You know why? Because you're not in your power. The greatest resource you'll ever have. That's why you worried about, can I sustain? You keep waiting for somebody to save you because you're unwilling to tap into your vast power. It's so vast, most of y'all don't even want it. Because of that responsibility. I'm telling you, man, I already know what it looked like to run and hide. I already know. So I know how compelling it is to want to run and hide. I know the seductiveness of it because it seems safer. I know. It seems safer. It's not. I'm telling you, a big part of the reason why I'm even continuing is because I know how much of a demon I become when I stay playing small. How much of a mean person. I could be smiling out here, acting nice. It's a front. And this is what a lot of married women are doing. They've traded who they are to get food and housing, and they're demons. They smile into people's faces, particularly the women who I'm talking about. Okay? And even the ones who are not, because life wants to live. And so much of marriage is about women not living. So you become a demon, and then you start strangling your husband in a spiritual way. Psychically, he don't even know. He bound in a motherfucker, and he don't care anyway, as long as he getting pussy and food. But I know that for those of us who are giants like this, that in the ways that I'm talking about, I'm speaking from personal experience. The level of evil I become when I run and hide and I try to keep myself doped up on sugar and liquor and drugs and social media and creating drama with people and trying to do low-level projects. Mean, evil. You just can't even help it. You can just see the look on her face when she's creating content, trying to smile and act. You can just see the behind her eye because she's not doing the real thing. See, I've been working in the storehouses of women's power for a long time, so I can see shit. You can't hide with me. You can't hide with me. Smiling, hey guys, hi y'all. All that, you could just see. Ooh, she is mad. Rage. And then for the ones of y'all who marry and then your husband sticking his dick in that, yeah, that nigga don't even know why he's strangled. He don't even know why he can't move the way he want to. Yeah, because your bitch is mad as fuck, nigga. But most of them don't care. Anyway, as long as they getting pussy and food. So if you ready? You ready? You ready, Britt? You can do it. It's rare. And y'all feel rare. Hold on real quick. Y'all feel rare. The issue is you scared of standing in your rareness. But you do this primal work that I'm talking about. Part of what happens is you learn how to convert all of that fear into actual fuel. This is really high level. So I'm closing out now. I don't think I saw any questions. So I know this is intense. Y'all need time to process. If you are this woman here that I've talked about here, you can have access to this replay and all 8 replays inside of the private Facebook group. To access the private Facebook group, you go up to the link in my bio and click it. And at the top, there's the link for the private Facebook group, okay? To get access to all 8 replays. And the first one from Friday is already there. So this one is gonna be uploaded within 24 hours. And each replay will be uploaded within 24 hours inside the private Facebook group, okay? All right, y'all take good care of yourselves. You're all very welcome.